this time when I was a college student in the 1960s that I wrote about in my book, where um, I was living in the Haight-Ashbury. I was a senior at SF State, majoring in English literature. I had been dropping acid and doing part of that scene and getting this real. uh, I know you're shocked, Libby, but you
Yeah.
know. um, but anyway, um, I had this real sense of the possibility of oneness, that we're really all one. And, you know, that was one way to sort of open that door. And, um, and I had started hanging out with Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach. And one day a bunch of us were walking on Haight Street, and he said, we ought to have a house. Let's call it the House of Love and Prayer. And I said, well, what is it? What's it going to be? You know, I was thinking, I was expecting he would give me some kind of quote from the Torah or the Talmud or something. We're going to sit down and get serious and study. And he said, it's a place where when you walk in, someone loves you. And when you walk out, someone misses you.
Wow.
And I said, well, do you have to be Jewish to go there? He said, no, it's just anybody who's looking, anybody who's searching. Um, and I didn't have a clue about how to do any of this stuff, but I wound up with a couple of friends. We just sort of rented a house and opened it up and said, okay, here we are. Let's see what happens. So I shouldn't have done this because, you know, I was in my senior year of college. I had all sorts of papers to do. I had to worry about graduating, but I didn't worry about that stuff. I just took a leap of faith, rented a house, opened the doors and said, okay, everybody, come on in. And hundreds of people started coming in through our doors. And this was in San Francisco in the 1960s, in the Haight-Ashbury, where everybody was seeking God and everybody was filled with love. And so, you know, we had a whole lot of Jews who came in to be with Shlomo, but we also had the first group, I think, we had a Catholic nun who decided she wanted to join our group, so she moved in with us. And then we had all sorts of nuns who would come to spend time, and brothers. And then we had Buddhists who came, and we had Murshid Sam Lewis, who was the leader of the Sufi movement on the West Coast then. And so all the Sufis started showing up. And honestly, I didn't know, like, how do you do this? What do you do? And I kept thinking about what Shlomo said. Well, when someone walks in, they feel loved, and when someone walks out, they feel missed. So building around that, we all sort of built up a practice. You know, we would feed everybody. Everybody had a place to stay. We would do our services, our Shabbos services that people could join in. And I wound up spending 4 years of my life doing it. And it changed my life. And ever since then, in my career and different things that I've done, I kept thinking about how to, in different environments, in different ways, get back to that experience, to try to have every place that I do whatever I'm doing be a house of love and prayer. So that's that's my leap of faith.